Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So for our Nahu lesson, we are still talking about the ism and the different ways that we can categorize the ism. By its definiteness, is it ma'rifa or nakira? By its gender, is it mudhakkar or mu'annath? And also by its plurality, is it mufrad, singular, muthanna, the dual case, or jam', the plural. Now, one of the more complicated categorizations, but something very important, is whether the ism is mabni or ma'rab. So here, al-mabni wal-ma'rab. And what that means is, generally, the normal thing in Arabic is for ism to be ma'rab. And what that means is the end of the word changes. Those signs at the end of the word, for example, the damma or the fatha or the kasra, will change according to the role that word is playing in the sentence. And that's the concept that I introduced in our very first video. This is the thing that really makes Arabic language special, is that you know who is the doer of the action, who is the one that the action is being done to, what is a word indicating the way that the action is done. All these things are known by the way those signs change at the end of the word. And this is what is called i'rab, the way that those signs change, and whether a word is marfu' or mansub or majroor, or in the case of af'al, of verbs, whether it is majzoom. So that is the normal thing for the ism, is that it will be ma'rab, that it will change, the ending of that word will change according to the role that it plays in the sentence. But there are certain words in Arabic that that's not the case for, exceptions, that this word will always look the same no matter what role it's playing in the sentence. Whether it's the one doing the action, whether it's the one the action is being done to, whether all these words, they always look the same no matter what function they're playing in the sentence. And a word like that is called mabni. And so it's important to learn all those exceptions so that we know when we come to the rest of the words that all of them will be mu'rab. So what we're going to do in this lesson and our following lesson is to learn all of these exceptions so we know them. We know every type of word that is mabni. That way we know all the rest of the words in Arabic will be mu'rab, and they will change according to the role that they're playing in the sentence. So the first type of word that is mabni, that doesn't change, is the dhamir. And there are different types of dhamir. As the author says, وَهُوَ خَمْسَةُ أَنْوَاعٍ. The dhamir is 5 different types. And their names are al-marfu', al-muttasil, the one that is in the case of being marfu' and it's connected, wal-marfu' al-munfasil, the one that is in the case of being marfu' but it's not connected to a word, al-mansub al-muttasil, the one that is in the case of being mansub and it's connected to a word, and al-mansub al-munfasil, that is mansub but it's not connected to a word, wal-majroor al-muttasil, and the one that's in the case of being majroor and it is connected to a word. So basically, the simple way that we can understand this is that there are different types of damirs according to whether it is marfu' or in the case of being mansub or in the case of being majroor. And then furthermore, those dhamir that are marfu' and mansub, each one of those is broken further down into 2 categories, whether it's connected to a word or it's on its own independent. As far as a dhamir that is majroor, it will always be connected to another word. So that gives us 5 types. The marfu' dhamir that's connected, then the one that's not connected to a word. The mansub damir that's connected, then the one that's not connected, and then the majroor damir will always be connected. So 5 different types. The dhamir, al-dhamir al-marfu al-muttasil, the one that's in the state of being marfu, and generally a word being marfu means it's the doer of an action or the subject of the sentence. It's more complicated than that, but we'll get to that as we move further along. But generally for us, for right now, we'll say that a word being marfu means it's either the doer of an action, the doer of a fi'l, or it's the subject of a sentence. So the dhamir that is marfu and it's connected. And that is just what we learned in our verb conjugations in the sarf lessons. ضرب, ضربا, ضربوا, ضربت, ضربتا, ضربنا, ضربت, ضربتما, ضربتم, ضربتي, ضربتما, ضربتن, ضربت, ضربنا. This here, for example, this alif here, or this waw here, or this ta here, that is actually a dhamir. It is a pronoun letting you know who's the one doing the action. In the case of daraba, that dhamir is what's called mustatir. You can't see it. It's hidden. But all of these words, they have a dhamir for them that's letting you know who's doing the action. And because it's the one that's doing the action, it is marfu. The important thing to know right now is just that these verb conjugations, they have a dhamir inside them, a pronoun letting you know who's the one doing the action, and because it's the doer of the action, it's marfu, and that pronoun doesn't change because it is always marfu. Then the dhamir that is marfu, but it's munfasil, it's disconnected, it's not part of another word, it's an independent word itself, are also just those dhama'ir, those words that we memorized in our very first sarf lesson. Huwa, huma, hum, hiya, humma, hunna, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, ana, nahnu. These words will always be marfu. So they don't change, right? It's not that huwa looks one way and then if it's mansub, it looks another way, because huwa can never be mansub. These dhama'ir, these words right here, will always be marfu, no matter where they come in a sentence, and they're mabni, they do not change. Here we have something new that we haven't learned yet, in that we haven't discussed it, but we've come across it several times in our readings, and I've just kind of translated it and kept going, hoping that you would get the feel for it and the understanding of it. So here we'll explain it properly. Hopefully it won't seem that strange to you, since we've been seeing it in our readings up until this point. And that is the dhamir al-mansub al-muttasil, the pronoun that is in the case of being mansub, meaning it is the object of an action. It's not the one that's doing the action, it's the one the action is being done to, and it's muttasil, it's connected. So it's always going to be part of a word, are connected at the end of a fi'l, a verb. So here, those conjugations are darabahu, meaning he hit him. So this hu here has that meaning of huwa, him. But because it's connected, it's muttasil, it will always look like this. It will just be a ha on its own, and it's always mansub because the meaning is the person that was hit. Daraba, he hit, hu, him. He hit him. Darabahu. Darabahuma, he hit the two of them. Huma. Darabahum, he hit them. So some of these, like huma and hum, will be exactly the same way. The actual dhamir, the way it looks, will look exactly the same it does when it's munfasil, when it's on its own. When you just want to say two people, you say huma. When you want to say a group of people, you say hum. And then when you connect it to a word, and make it mansub, being the one that the action is done to, it still looks the same. Darabahuma, darabahum. But some of the pronouns, they change. And that's the important part you have to get from this, because you can't say daraba huwa. You will have to say darabahu. Huwa changes to hu when it's mansub. Darabahu, he hit him. Darabahuma, he hit the two of them. Darabahum, he hit a group of people. Darabaha, he hit her. So ha here is the ضمير منصوب متصل for hiya. Darabaha, darabahuma, he hit the two of them. Darabahunna, he hit the group of women. So here hunna, just like hunna when it is munfasil, when it's on its own. Darabaka, he hit you. So this one is very different, right? Because normally when we say you, we say anta. But here, when it's the object of a verb, it's mansub, it's muttasil, it's connected to that verb. Instead, we use a kaf to indicate that pronoun. So darabaka means he hit you. Darabakuma, he hit the two of you. Darabakum, he hit the group of you. Darabaki, he hit you, speaking to a female. Darabakuma, he hit the two of you. Daraba, speaking to feminine. So here it's the same. Darabakuma, darabakuma. Whether you're in the dual case, whether you're speaking to two men or two women, it's going to be the same. Darabakunna, he hit the group of you, speaking to women. Darabani, he hit me. So here this is corresponding to ana. Darabani, and then darabana, he hit us, the group of people. And for this last one, it's important to know the difference between darabna and darabana. Because when we say darabna, the noon and the alif is the dhamir that is marfu' muttasil, meaning it's the one that's doing the action. Darabna, fa'alna. But here this is different because that last letter of the verb has a fatha on it. It's not darabna, it's darabana. So the fa'il here, the one that's doing the action, is actually huwa, and the noon and the alif here is the dhamir that is mansub. It's the one that the action is being done to. Darabana, he hit us. So I think the best thing, if you don't have this concept down already, is just to memorize this like you memorized your verb conjugation charts. Darabahu, he hit him. Darabahuma, he hit the two men. Darabahum, he hit the group of men. Darabaha, he hit the woman. Darabahuma, he hit the two women. Darabahunna, he hit the group of women. Darabaka, he hit you. Darabakuma, he hit the two of you. Darabakum, he hit the group of you. Darabaki, he hit you, speaking to a female. Darabakuma, he hit the two of you, speaking to two women. Darabakunna, he hit the group of you, speaking to women. Darabani, he hit me. Darabana, he hit us. Then, also, we have the dhamir that is mansub, but it is munfasil. It's not connected to a word. Here, at this point, I think just if you're familiar with these, we won't go too deep into it, and inshallah we'll make more sense of it in the future as we go along. But just be familiar with these dhama'ir: iyahu, iyahuma, iyahum, iyaha, iyahuma, iyahunna, iyaka. So here iyaka is like in Surah Al-Fatiha. Iyaka na'budu, you do we worship. إياكم إياكما إياكم إياكي إياكما إياكن إيايا إيانا. I think for right now it's not so important that you memorize this one. Just be familiar with this, that this is the dhamir that is mansub. It's the one that an action is being done to, but it's not connected to a verb like here. So this is the normal way, that the one that the action is being done to will be connected to a verb. And the only reason you would use it this way is if you wanted to, for a reason in the balagha, and to make the speech more powerful, to make the one the action is being done to mentioned before the action itself is mentioned. We'll learn more about that when we get to a more advanced stage. But just be familiar with the general concept for this one, the dhamir that is mansub munfasil, but the damir that is mansub muttasil, that's connected to the verb, memorize all those. And also the damir al-majroor al-muttasil, the damir that is in the case of being majroor and it is connected. And here, this will only come when we have a situation of what's called a mudaf and a mudaf ilay. And what that means is those constructions we've come across that basically has the meaning of ghulam means boy, ghulamuhu means the boy of him, his boy. And so when you have a mudaf and a mudaf ilay, that second part of the construction will always be majroor. And we'll learn that in detail in coming lessons. And so that second part, that mudaf ilay, can be any word, right? You can say ghulam or rajul, the boy of the man, or ghulamu fulan, the boy of so-and-so. But also you can use as that mudaf ilay, that second word that the first word is connected to, can be a pronoun. So if you say ghulamuhu, that means the boy of him. Ghulamuhuma means the boy of the two of them. Ghulamuhum, the boy of the group of people. Ghulamuha, the boy of the woman. Ghulamuhuma, the boy of the two women. Ghulamuhunna, the boy of the group of women. Ghulamuka, the boy of you, speaking to a man. Ghulamukuma, the boy of you two men. Ghulamukum, the boy of you group of men. Ghulamuk, the boy of you. Ghulamuka, Ghulamuki, the boy of you, speaking to a woman. Ghulamukuma, the boy of you two women. Ghulamukunna, the boy of you group of women. Ghulami, the boy of me. Ghulamuna, our boy. If you notice here, these pronouns here are exactly the same as in the case of the pronouns that are mansub. Except one exception. Here when you say darabani, that pronoun, he hit me, that pronoun is the ya. Just like if you said ghulami, the boy of me, here ana is represented by the ya. But when you're adding it to a verb, we put this noon in between to protect that ya. So you can't say darabi, he hit me, you have to say darabani. That way we can keep the haraka on the ba, and then we put that noon in there just as something that is there that makes it easier for us to add the ya. Darabani. But the ya is the actual pronoun meaning ana. Here we don't need to do that, so we just say ghulami. We don't say ghulamuni. There's no noon there. But other than that, there's no difference at all. It's all the same pronouns. So if you memorize the pronouns that are mansub, that's enough for you. You memorize darabahu, darabahuma, darabahum, darabaha until the end of it. And just know when those same pronouns come, but they're connected to a ism instead of a verb, then it's in the case of being majroor, because it's a mudaf and a mudaf ilay, and that we'll explore more in the future. This might have been seemed like a little bit confusing. Just takeaway points. The really important thing that you learn from this lesson is that you know there's 5 different types of damirs, of pronouns in the Arabic language. It can be marfu' and connected to a word, or it can be marfu' and be disconnected. And know the difference between the two. The marfu' that is connected is the damir that's in the verb conjugations you memorize. Fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alata, fa'alna, to the end of that. How we know who's doing the action is because of those pronouns that are built in to those verb conjugations. The damir that is marfu' and it's munfasil, it's in the state of being marfu', it's the doer of an action or the subject of a sentence, but it's not connected to a word. Those are those 14 pronouns that we memorized in our very first lesson. Huwa, huma, huwa huma hum, hiya hun, huwa huma hum, hiya huma hunna, until the end of it. Then the next thing that's important to memorize is the dhamir that is mansub and it's muttasil. The dhamir that's in the case of being mansub, it's the one that an action is being done to and it's connected to a verb. And these are actual new constructions that you need to memorize. So memorize darabahu, darabahuma, darabahum, darabaha, darabahuma, darabahunna, darabaka, darabakuma, darabakum, darabaki, darabakuma, darabakunna, darabani, darabana. Memorize those and memorize the meanings. Know that darabahu means he hit him. Darabahuma means he hit the two men. Darabahum means he hit the group of men. Darabaha means he hit the woman. Darabahuma, he hit the two women. Darabahunna, he hit the group of women. Darabaka, he hit you, speaking to a man. Darabakuma, he hit the two of you, speaking to two men. Darabakum, he hit you, group of men. Darabaki, he hit you, speaking to a woman. Darabakuma, he hit the two of you, speaking to women. Darabakunna, he hit the group of you, speaking to women. Darabani, he hit me. Darabana, he hit us. Memorize those. Then also know that the one that the action is being done to can also be disconnected. So the dhamir that's mansub, the pronoun that's mansub, it's the object of an action. It can also be disconnected, and that is more rare, and we'll get more familiar with that as we move along. And then finally, the dhamir that is majroor, and this is always muttasil. It's always connected to a word. It can't come on its own, and that's in the mudaf and mudaf ilay construction, which we will learn in the future. But the important thing for you to know now is that any pronoun that comes at the end of an ism, like in this construction, gulamuhu, gulamuhuma, is going to be with that meaning of him, the boy of him, the boy of the two of them, gulamuhum, the boy of the group of them. And that is always going to be majroor, and those pronouns are basically the same as the pronouns when they're muttasil, mansub, when they're the action of a verb. The only difference is, for the case of ana, you won't have that noon here. So for ana, for the dhamir that is mansub muttasil, you'll say darabani. But for the dhamir that is majroor muttasil, you would just say ghulami. You wouldn't say ghulamuni. So go over that, review that, let that sink into your mind. Inshallah, it will become more clear also when we come across it in our readings, because this is something that we'll see all the time. These different pronouns are used in almost every sentence in the language. And also know that this is the first type of exceptions to the rule that generally the asma in the Arabic language are mu'rab. They change by the signs at the end of the words change according to the role that they're playing in the sentence. You say, Ja'a Zaydun, Zayd came. Daraba Amrun Zaydan, Amr hit Zayd. Marartu bi Zaydin, I passed by Zayd. Have Zaydun, Zaydan, Zaydin, according to whether it's the subject, the doer of the sentence, whether it's the one it's being done to, or whether a harf comes before that word. Here, our first exception to that rule, our first example of words that are mabni, they don't change, are the different types of dhama'ir, the different types of damirs that we learned today.